The friendship ladder is my 4-step framework for turning random people into close friends. You know, I've kind of always known a decent amount of people, but a few years back, my wife and I kind of realized that we didn't have great, deep friendships as a couple or just individually, but we wanted to develop better friendships. So I wanted to also in that figure out a repeatable process that I could not only use for myself but also help my wife with and my kids and everybody. So started reading around, listened to blog posts, read some books, listened to podcasts, did a lot of digging because that's what I like to do. I like to dig into all this stuff. But the problem was that I just ended up with a lot of different sort of tips, like how to, body language to have people like you, or how to, meet people in such and such situation, or how to throw a party at your house, all these types of things. But they didn't have a consistent framework that sort of tied it all together. You didn't know where to start. Where do you learn first? What's the most important step to start with? Where do you go? Then I found a book by Russell Brunson talking about how experts create frameworks to sort of package what they know into something that's really simple that then you can dig into to get more details on, or you can kind of jump back out and see the broader scope. Once it started to click, I started, I was actually out on, I think, a walk or something, so I ran home to find something to write with, and I think it ended up being a paper towel, which you'd think I'd have more paper at the house, but for whatever reason, found a paper towel, and I scribbled out the beginnings of the friendship ladder. Since then, it's been really cool because now I can think of all my friendships and all the things that I work on with friendships through the lens of this framework. And it helps me realize, okay, what's the first step when I'm making a friend? What's the next step? How to evaluate, okay, here's a friend that I've been friends with for a long time. What should I do first to deepen that friendship? So I want to share this with you today. This is still a work in progress. I'm still kind of putting together the terminology and everything, but I wanted to go ahead and share what I've got now so that so hopefully it helps you. So getting into it, right? The friendship ladder is 4 steps. The first step is what I call human, or the human level. And the way I think about it is, if someone were to get hit by a car, you would run over and help them, whether you knew them or not, just because they're a human. What is it that makes you relate to those people? For me, what it comes down to, or what I've started to realize, is that first level of connection is simply about where you are at. If you've got somebody in Idaho and you're in Kentucky, like me, you're not going to know that they exist. You're not going to have any shared anything with them. There are no real connections with them because you don't know that they exist. So the first part is getting in the same space. Now that doesn't mean you have to go to Idaho. You could also get online, you could get on Facebook, you could get on a website, but you need to figure out that these people exist. So that's number 1. Get that human level of connection. Number 2 is interest. This is where you share something in common that you like to do, that you believe, that you think about. Good examples of this are, sports, common teams that you like, common teams that you both hate, something, maybe you like to craft, maybe you like to write, maybe you like to play chess. So if you are a person who also likes to play chess, me and you are automatically going to have that instant connection. But first I have to get to the first level, right? I can't just know any old chess people out there in the entire world. First I've got to know that you exist, got to be in the same place, got to be in the same space. And then we share a common interest in chess, and we start to be like, oh cool, you like chess, and they start talking about chess. That's level 2, interest. The easiest way to get to that level with people is to do common activities or do activities together. So, hey, let's go hiking. You both go hiking, you realize you like to hike, and bam, now you're sharing an interest together. It doesn't have to be somebody you just met. It could be somebody you've known a long time, like somebody at work who's in the next cubicle over, right? And you never talk to them though, because it's at work, right? So you can take it to the next level by introducing something that you both have in common with an activity that you can both do together. Step 3 is what I call story. It's what I call a story. And this is where you move from the external things, like where you're physically at, what you're doing. Now you're gonna move to the internal, where you're going. The reason I call it story is because in any story, every character has to want something. You have to want it, and then they end up pursuing it. And that's what it makes it a story, is that they're not just sitting on a bench somewhere, they're actually moving, and you want to follow that character through the story. In this level, the way that I think of it is you're not just interested in this person because they happen to sit next to you in the cubicle at work. You're not just interested in them because they also happen to play chess and you like to play chess, but now you're interested in them because of how they're learning about chess, let's say, or what they're doing in their life to pursue the things that they want in their life. You're not so concerned with the activities themselves as much as the story of them going through. And this is why we're interested in celebrities a lot of times, even though, maybe you watched a movie of them and you really like the movie, but then you get interested in their personal life, and you're interested in, oh, well, they're getting married, and oh, they ended up divorcing. It's the drama, right? That's what we like. We like that story. We like to follow. What are they up to? What are they going after? What are they pursuing? That sort of thing. So in your friendships, you can take that to the next level from just an interest of, yeah, I like this common thing, to now taking them on the journey with you. Like, how are you learning about chess? Start to talk about that. How are you raising your kids? How are you homeschooling your kids? These kinds of things. All right, level 4. Level 4 is what I call, I call it friend, because this level I think is what completes the cycle. This is what I think of when I think of a close friend. You're in the same space, you're sharing common interests, you're also appreciating and following each other's journey through life, but now you're also sharing struggles and you're sharing vulnerabilities. When we open up and share those things, it's letting our guard down, and it's letting people into our lives. And at this point, people start caring about us for us. It's no longer because they're in the cubicle next to me, that's why I care about them. Or it's no longer because, oh, they like the Cardinals, right? The sports team. Or it's no longer because, oh, they're really exciting, they've got all this drama in their lives and it's interesting to hear about their gossip. At this point, people start caring about you for who you actually are, for your identity. And this is where you hear about, BFFs, best friends forever. Because at this point, it doesn't matter what you go and like. It doesn't matter where you move to. It doesn't matter, how many times you forget to call back. At this point, people start caring about you because of who you are. And that is really, really difficult to get to that point. But it's also very simple as far as how you get there. If you go through these steps one by one, you'll get there. And then it's just a matter of maintaining it, right? You can't just get there and be like, all right, peace, we're good, see you later, right? You continue to maintain these friendships and continue to build by staying close to each other, by introducing new interests, by sharing stories, by sharing struggles so that we stay in that friendship mode. I'll leave it at this for now. I don't have all the terminology down, but hopefully this helps give you an idea of kind of where I'm coming from with some of this. Hopefully it helps you in making friends. Hopefully you can kind of play with this and let me know how it works for you. Take care. Oh, before I go, one more thing. If you're interested in learning more about this, I have a website. Go to howtobestfriend.com. howtobestfriend.com. I'm going to give away some free stuff there where I teach this framework, probably on like a whiteboard, and I'll have some fancy stuff, eventually probably a course and books and who knows whatever else. If you're interested in any of this, I'd love it if you visited howtobestfriend.com and at this point simply just said hi. Just connect. Just be like, hey Marshall, saw your video. So if this is you, if you're listening to this and you got some value out of this, I'd love it if you said hey. Take care.